Hello. Learn.Inc is an international project under Erasmus Plus program of the EU, and it supports students and early career researchers to enhance their skills in project promotion and project-based learning and research. My name is Nico Janev from Sofia University, and I enjoy the company of Professor Draganov, key expert on project development from Research and Training Point Foundation. It's the Bulgarian partner in the project. I will ask him to share some hints, tips, and experiences that might be inspirational for the academic audience facing the challenge of working in a project-oriented environment. Hi, Drago. Thanks for joining this video session for Learn.Inc. You have been long and deep on the program management side in public bodies, involved in grant-based support for the education and social spheres. Can you outline the benefits of this type of funding and management compared to the traditional budget approaches?
Hi, Nico. Thank you for having me here with you today. I'm really happy that we can discuss this topic because project-oriented approaches have been gaining popularity in many fields, including higher education and research. Project experience is considered a desirable sign of achievement in academia. So project-oriented thinking is not only an inspiring, but rather a practical topic, I would say. You're right. For almost 5 years, I worked for the Bulgarian ESF Management Authority. I can remember that one of the first operations launched under the operational program Human Resources Development 2007-2013 was targeted at PhD, postdoctoral students and young researchers, and was warmly welcomed by the Bulgarian academic institutions. It was one of the most successful operations and had 3 sequels. Then I moved to academia, but my perspective did not change much. I remained convinced that the project-oriented approach to funding education and science has many benefits, not only for researchers, but also at organizational, systemic level. Having mentioned organizations and organizational level, I believe that one of the biggest benefits of project-oriented funding is related to the very definition of the term project. Project, is something complementary, additional to the main activity. It has a temporary nature. Resources within a specific project are also limited, and they need to be spent wisely to fulfill a specific organizational need. On the other hand, when the project expires, the organization is expected to ensure sustainability of the results. So the project results needs to be embedded in the organization's everyday activity. Smart academic organizations utilize project financing to encourage promising ideas.
Once we have outlined some doubtless benefits of this project approach in terms of organization of time management and resource management, an approach that is beneficial for the organization, but for the individual researcher alike. Can we say a couple of words about the first steps a researcher needs to take in order to identify the proper source of financial support for his or her research scientific ideas?
The first step for an individual researcher who wants to utilize the benefits of project-oriented approaches is the recognition that the academic work is a teamwork. So I believe that the benefits of project-oriented approaches cannot be utilized if the researcher works alone without the support of other people working for the same or for other organization who share similar research interests. Individual benefits of project-oriented approaches could be best achieved if there is a strong, coherent research team. The second step is to invest some time in working on a particular topic. It's of crucial importance for the individual researcher to be aware of the nature of a given research topic, its boundaries, theoretical and methodological approaches. Many people believe, and that's very unfortunate, that project work is something routine, something like assembly line. So the topic is not important, but it's more important to find the source of financing and to attract financing. That's a wrong way of thinking. For young researchers, I believe that the best source of financial support could be the opportunities provided by the organizations which these researchers work for. For example, small scholarship research grants, other small-scale projects. It's true that these activities do not provide generous financing. Their duration is also rather short, but the positive thing here is that they can be implemented in a favorable environment, in an environment which do not impose very strict conditions during the implementation phase. So the researchers, especially young researchers, will be able to gain hands-on experience and to develop their project management skills.
It's a step-by-step process, and it's advisable to begin from the small and then aim for a bigger game. Ideas and their promoters face the need to compete for funding. It means their will for research work should find its proper and convincing expression in words, and in the respective administrative forms. We often call this preliminary intention for action a project proposal. So we propose to act in a certain way. What makes the proposal a good one? Any hints for its preparation?
Yeah. To sum up, a good idea is an original idea. It should provide solution to existing challenges. It should address dimensions of the research topic which are not covered by existing research, and it should provide opportunities for young researchers to test innovative methodologies.
When I have the chance to talk with students, I also try to focus their attention on the project that needs to be based on a certain well-defined problem. So it's project work is not about getting access to some resources, but about solving a problem. So it's problem-oriented. And also we have another aspect of the project that it is unique in its nature. So each project differs from any other project, despite the fact that they follow some common steps during the application, implementation, evaluation, etc. But this is in the nature of the project to be different, to be one-time unique solution for a certain problem. We come to this point of the project cycle where our ideas receive the chance to be implemented. Can you tell us a bit more about the reality of project implementation? What should we take into consideration when our research project receives funding?
I will be blunt here. The main challenge, the main demarcation line between a bright project idea and a feasible one is the organizational environment. For a young researcher, it will be particularly challenging to reconcile the demands of the organization where he or she works and his or her project ambitions. There should be some limitations when the goals of that project idea are being set. Young researchers will not be able to devote all the necessary time to implement a very ambitious project idea, despite of the fact that there might be promising, talented, or very, very skilled young individuals, because the expectations of those young researchers will clash with reality. And the reason for that, to say it again, is that each project is being implemented in a real life environment. So that is the point I want to emphasize on.
As we all know from our project practice, reality often is quite different from what we plan. So it brings us back to the planning stage and reminds us that we have to be careful when planning to set goals that are reachable, that are within our reach, that are realistic. Do not burden our project with overcomplication and over expectations. And always think that we prepare project proposals with the intention to implement them, not only with the intention to attract funding and convince the evaluators, but also to solve a problem. And it will be a real life problem. We've said a lot of words about project preparation, project implementation. You have shared your experience from this sphere, but I would ask you to answer the simple question: is it worth at the end the efforts to look for and compete to access project funding for research and teaching? Because we all know that it's not only about research projects, but also about projects oriented towards teaching and training. So is it worth doing it? Is it worth the efforts?
Of course it is. Those projects provide unique opportunities to ground your teaching in real life research activities. It is worth the efforts.
Thank you for sharing your time with us and for sharing your thoughts with us. I hope your point of view might inspire our listeners to learn more about scientific and academic projects, and even join the activities of project learning that is implemented in universities across the Balkan countries. And if our visitors, if our listeners and viewers have further interest on the topic, we are open for questions and suggestions via email, so that we can plan for and deliver a more detailed lecture on the project skill set that is needed for academics and researchers. Thank you again, Drago, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Nico.